Hey, y'all. All right, let's get Instagram on and TikTok. Okay, hey, y'all. All right, let's get TikTok. Okay. All right, here we go. How y'all doing on this Good Friday? Happy Friday. Hey, what's the question? Good morning. Hey. Thank you. Hey, beauty. Good morning. Happy Friday to you. Oh, yes. Yay. Hey, Mbens. Thank you. Awesome. Awesome. Yes. And I tried to package that as much as I could, so I'm glad it got there safe. Perfect. All right. Thank you. All right. Let's get into this read. Welcome back to my channel. This is Adana, also known as the Afrozine, and today I'm reading for the beautiful and handsome collective. Hi, collective. How you doing? You know I love me some collective. Flowers, flowers, flowers. Flowers, flowers, flowers. Flowers, flowers, flowers. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. To book a private reading with me or to shop in my store, all that information is in the description box, okay? So, with that being said, don't forget to grab this copy of this book here. It was created by me to help and assist and elevate the collective with your healing, okay? Many times you may hit stagnation, we may hit a plateau in our healing and we don't know which way to turn. Well, this book here will help you in getting out of that stagnation and back into the flow of things, all right? It is called Wisdom Beyond Wounds. It is readily available for purchase. All you have to do is just type in the words and you will see it pop up, okay? Thank you so much for your immense support. You are truly appreciated. I appreciate you, okay? So, channel message here is they wanted a war and ended up annihilated. Yes. They wanted a war. And they ended up annihilated. All right, let's dive deep into this. So, these narcissistic individuals really didn't know who they were stepping into, I'll put it this way. They didn't know who they were dealing with. They thought you were very quiet, very stoic, very weak-spirited, weak-minded. And they thought that you were, we'll say, easy prey. If anything, they made the situation much easier for you if you're able to look at it from this perspective. They made the situation a little bit more easier for you to see all of their foolish ways, if that makes sense. So we're going to go down this list here from a psychological standpoint in regards to why they're now feeling annihilated by the truth that you speak, by the truth that you embody, that the truth, you know what I mean? You're very authentic with your truth here. So they believe winning means never being understood. Let's talk about this for a moment. They believed by winning a war against you would means that no one would ever understand them. That is a red flag, number one. And number two, that is a mask that they were wearing. And here's why. From their point of view, being truly understood feels more dangerous than being hated. This is how they perceive themselves. If someone sees their motives very clearly, the illusion collapses, of course. So an example of this would be they would rather you think They are cruel, cold, or unpredictable than accurately reading their patterns or their red flags or the masks, the many masks that they wear. Misunderstanding keeps them powerful. Let me repeat that. To a narcissist, they feel much, 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 much more comfortable in their nastiness if people don't understand them. Misunderstanding keeps them powerful, because if you don't know what's going on, then they're going to be able to remain on top, if that makes sense. So clarity would strip them naked psychologically. And again, we all know that they're playing a psychological game. They don't want you to be aware of the mental or the psychological games that they try or attempt to play with you. So the moment that clarity arises for you here, the misunderstanding that they thought that was protecting them is not protecting them anymore. Okay. Next one here is they confuse emotional exhaustion with surrender. So they assume when you stop arguing, explaining yourself, or defending yourself, it is because you are depleted, but not because you have outgrown the battlefield. An example of this would be they think your silence means they finally broke you, when in reality, your nervous system simply stopped registering them as relevant. They are now irrelevant. They celebrate a victory that never happened. Again, channel message here is they wanted a war and they ended up annihilated. Next one is they see escalation as intelligence. It's not. It's stupid. It's a stupid move. It's not a power move. It's a powerless move. And people who don't have any power, again, is going to do what they can to strip you from yours. So that way they can step into your position and act like you or mimic you or emulate you. So they see escalation as a form of intelligence. In their mind, getting louder, being more dramatic, more manipulative feels like strategy. It's not. Calm to them feels like stupidity because calm does not control outcomes from their point of view. An example of this would be they leak half-truths, provoke reactions, or create chaos believing complexity equals dominance, and it does not. Not realizing every escalation makes their behavior easier to map and predict. Next one is they think time erases truth. They do. They rely on delay as a weapon, assuming that if enough time passes, accountability dissolves and memories blur. An example of this will be they will stall conversations, they'll stop it, they'll make it stagnant. They'll assume that if enough time passes by, they'll stall conversations, they'll disappear, they'll drag it out, drag situations out, believing history will reset. So they'll argue with you, fight with you, and then they just leave you ghost. And they expect for you to be in your head in regards to why they took that particular action towards you here. But when you realize that what they were doing here, you just left it alone. So when they finally try to come back towards you here and they realize that the door was bolted shut, they didn't know what to do with that. So, they stole conversations, disappear, or drag situations out, believing history will reset itself. Instead, time gives you distance, and distance gives you pattern recognition. Their past becomes clearer, not smaller. So to be honest, they really, really, really helped you in this way. You benefited from them leaving you alone or staying away from you. Because the moment that they dashed away, they ran away, or they scurried away, and you were able to be in your space of silence, they realized that they fucked up. If that makes sense? Next one is they don't realize the war ends when they are no longer the enemy. They believe conflict exists only as long as they are fighting. Let me repeat that. They don't realize the war ends when they are no longer the enemy. They believe conflict exists only as if they are fighting. They cannot imagine someone walking away without needing closure, revenge, or validation. Closure is a form of emotions. It is, I need to know, and I get that. I promise you, I get that Also revenge as well too. Oh, I'm gonna get back at you and I'm gonna do this to you and I'm gonna do that to you. Well, I mean, you don't have to uh incite revenge on someone when you weren't the one that caused the issue to begin with. Let me look up the etymology of the word revenge again. Give me a second. Okay. Etymology of the word revenge is to lay claim to avenge, to punish, to take vengeance of, or sorry, to take vengeance on account of. Sorry, y'all. Retaliation for wrongs, real or fancied, act of doing harm or injury in return for wrong or injury suffered. That's what revenge is. And this is what they were expecting for you to do. They were expecting for you to be tit for tat. They were expecting you to be in this long, drawn out fight here because they really wanted the fight to the end. See, their fight is a little bit different than your fight. They think that you may not have gotten physical. Just hear me out for the ones that resonate. Okay. This is a collective read. Not everything gonna resonate. Okay. It's like they felt that if they could keep itching you or pushing you into an actual physical war, that you would lose the war. But again, as I mentioned to you guys, it's not a physical war that they're trying to fight you with. It's a mental war. It's a spiritual war. So they're trying to get you to be in your head in a way to where you destabilize yourself mentally and psychologically to the point where you start to act out physically to where they can now justify as to why they have to hurt you or push you down or cause some form of a physical casualty towards you here. So it starts again, initially, it starts mentally and psychologically, and then it manifests into physical if it get that far. Okay. So they believe conflict exists only as long as they are fighting. A fight is not always physical, as I kept saying. It could be spiritual, again, mental. It could be financial. It could be emotional as well too. And if all systems are not go within yourself here, well then of course you're going to go haywire. Of course you're going to go against the grain. Of course you're going to feel like you need to get revenge on them. If that makes sense. So they cannot imagine someone walking away without needing closure, without needing revenge or validation, because everything falls apart. So an example of this will be when you disengage without explanation, they feel destabilized because the war they were preparing for never happens. The end goal is to cause some form of a physical casualty towards you. They can't just come out and cause that physical casualty towards you without breaking you down first. Because if everything else has not worked and the only thing left is a physical something, this is where they're going to feel justified. See, I told you, see, I told you they were belligerent. I told you they wanted to fight me. I told you they wanted to argue, like things of that nature here. And it didn't work out in that way. So then when you didn't physically put up a fight, because these things, and then police officers being called, you being in jail, you having a long rap sheet, you're going to jail for domestic violence, and all you're doing is protecting yourself, if that makes sense. So it starts spiritually, starts mentally first, and when they feel like they have been successful with that, then it's going to start to come down physically. And this is where this is where they're trying to get you caught up in some really sticky situations here. So keep that in mind, okay, moving forward. So they keep swinging at an opponent who has already exited the arena. You left, which makes them look unhinged rather than powerful. Again, this is the reason why they wanted a war and ended up annihilated. They never said what kind of war they wanted. They weren't very specific in regards to we'll say the outlines of the war that they thought they were going to master or annihilate here. And you weren't even aware of the war at the time, but things had to come into place where you had to learn and read between the lines surrounding the type of war they wanted and you were still able to beat this silent war that they thought that no one would ever feel, no one would ever see, or no one would ever hear. So to be honest here, again, they wanted a war and ended up annihilated because at the end of it all, they are the one that's looking unhinged. They're the one that's looking ballistic. They're the one that can't stop watching you. They're the one that can't stop speaking your beautiful name off of their nasty tongue. They're the one that won't give it a rest. They won't give it a rest because something was inside of them died. If that makes sense, something within themselves was annihilated, and it was by your silence here. And they're trying, wait, So this is the type of emotions that occur when they feel defeated. One minute they're very angry. Sound like a damn dog, child, like a rabid dog. Then next minute they're silent. Well, what the hell just happened here? Okay, the next minute, it's just, and eventually they keep seesawing back and forth of this high energy of being angry and this low energy of being quiet and sad and whatever here. And they don't even realize that they're going against themselves. They're self-sabotaging themselves because all this anger is within themselves. They don't know how to process it correctly. They don't know how to sit with themselves correctly, of course. And then it's causing a lot of other occurrences within their body where now things are going to start to shut down within themselves. This is exactly how they look. You know, I don't care. I'll tell you. I'll show you. I don't care. They look like plum fools, basically. So this is my very first deck that I've ever gotten on my spiritual path and spiritual journey, and it means a lot to me. So I'm being led to pull from this deck. So let's see what is underneath the surface of it all here surrounding these narcissistic fools. Somebody's eating sushi, or you made your own sushi. Be fearless and stand strong. Yes. And this could be a spiritual message. I strongly feel it is. It's a spiritual message here. You need to be fearless and stand strong. You are the warrior of all of this here. Not everyone can sometimes see a warrior in, like, we'll say 3D. Sometimes that warrior spirit is hidden. It's placed in reserved for a reason. It's only supposed to be utilized or pulled out when true combat is needed. And in this instance here, when you were dealing with this narcissistic fool of groups here, you needed to pull out this warrior spirit, or you needed to embody this warrior spirit to let them know that you're not the 2 or the 3. You're going to always be the one. And they realize that you are the one here, and now they want to wave the white flag because they're just beating up themselves like a fish out of water. They're flopping like a fish out of water. What did I say about sushi? I just said that somebody had sushi last night, or someone likes to make sushi from scratch. That's what I stated. Your fearlessness and you standing strong or standing up to them makes them a little, it kind of pushes them back a bit, makes them a little nervous because they never seen that part of you before. That part of you was always within you. It was just hidden, or we'll just say it was dormant. And not everyone needs to know all of your moves, your plans, your strategic. No one needs to know all of that when it comes to you here. So they brought that out here because they would not leave well alone. And because they wouldn't leave well alone, well, now they're being taught a lesson yet again. They wanted a war and they ended up annihilated. Somebody's eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch, or that's your favorite cereal. Or Cocoa Puffs Cookie Crisp. So spring is here. We're in winter right now, but metaphorically speaking, spiritually speaking, you're in a space where now spring is starting to spring, or your seeds that you have grown many, many moons ago is now starting to sprout. And it's sprouting in front of everyone that thought that your crops were not well or dead in that kind of way. They cannot come near your crops. They can't pull your crops. They can't steal your crops. They can't eat from your crops. They can't do any of these things here. So they thought that they could find a different way to try to, we'll say, annihilate you or destroy you here. But every time they attempt to destroy you, they just continue to destroy themselves. And it's making themselves look weaker in spirit and also physically here and mentally as well. That something is not right with these individuals, that something is off with them. And that was the one thing that they did not want anyone to be aware about, that something is not right with them. Going back to my notes, they believe winning means never being understood. From their point of view, being truly understood, felt, or feels more dangerous than being hated. Why? If someone sees their motives clearly, the illusion collapses. An example of this would be they will rather you think that they are cruel, cold, or unpredictable than accurately read their patterns. Misunderstanding keeps them powerful. Clarity will strip them naked psychologically. Misunderstanding keeps them powerful. You may have actually said this towards them. I don't understand you. Why do you act this way? And when you may have said those specific words verbatim towards them, they may have smiled. Their little chest may have popped out more. They may have felt like they were on top of the world here because from their point of view of things, they truly thought and felt that the more that you misunderstood them, the more they felt powerful. Why aren't they keeping that same energy now? Why not? Pourquoi and pourquoi? Why aren't they keeping that same energy now? Now that you fully, clearly can see past them, you can see what they do and what they don't do and what they should be doing. You see everything about them here. But now that you currently, clearly, what's the word? What's the word? You see them, you understand them now. It's like, well, what else can I do? Now the collective see me. Now the collective understand me. What else I can do? Roar, roar. And you were like, all right, what else you got? Okay. Roar. And they're just getting bigger and bigger with their roar. And I'm like, okay, all right. What else do you have? Well, I want to call the police on you. You're going to call the police on the collective for being calm or sitting calm or sitting in a calm space? You don't realize that your calmness triggers them. Your calmness is a space and time, or yes, a space and time where you are still and they don't know how you're going to move. They are very predictable when it comes to how they move in life. And they thought that you would be the same. So since you're just staying quiet and you're just allowing them to do what they need to do, which you should, let them do what they need to do here. And you just sit back and you just watch them here. They don't like that. They don't like the fact that you refuse to misunderstand them versus understand them. Does that make sense? Going back to the notes. Misunderstanding keeps them powerful. If you don't understand them, they can stay in their power space or their power spot. If you understand them, this shit ain't going, it's not going to phase you. It's not going to do anything towards you, if that makes sense. So they confuse emotional exhaustion with surrender. They assume when you stop arguing, explaining, or defending yourself, it is because you are depleted, not because you have outgrown the battlefield. An example of this would be they think your silence means they finally broke you, when in reality, your nervous system simply stopped registering them as relevant. They're irrelevant. They don't exist. You don't care. You are indifferent to the situation. You recognize what needed to be recognized in that space that you were in at the time. And they don't want that. No, 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 wait, no, no, you're not supposed to understand me. No, 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 wait, I want you to misunderstand me. No, 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 no. They don't like, in a nutshell, they don't like smart individuals, which is why most of the time they try to downplay your intelligence. They try to downplay your smarts. Oh, you think you're this or you think you're that. Again, y'all, hear me and hear me well, eh? Hear me and hear me well. Everything that they attempt to do is supposedly strategic, supposedly. It's a mental game that they're playing with you. And most times, if you're able to look at it from this perspective, most mental games are silent. Most of the times, they may not even say anything. They want you to pick up what they're not putting down, and that's exactly what you did, thanks to them. They help you to identify and recognize the patterns that they kept saying that they never had. They had the patterns. It was just in a different way that most people might not be able to see or register or pick up. This is where your stillness comes in. This is where your quietness comes in. And the more quiet you became, the more you heard. The more quiet you became, the more you saw. This is how you're able to discover things. Do you think that you can discover things in a very chaotic space? No, you can't. You can't think right. You ain't gonna be able to think straight. There's too much things going all around you. But despite all that chaotic things going on around you, and you're putting yourself in a space of becoming still and quiet, despite all the chaos around you, because they are the chaos. And you ain't, collective, come catch me. And you're like, what the hell is wrong with this damn narcissist? That's how they're act. That's literally how they act. Like a whirlwind of shit. Just woo, woo. And they want you to follow every little thing's like a bee. You know, a bee don't fly straight. A bee has its own little directional pull or line of how it flies. I've never seen a bee fly straight. It's always in some kind of a whimsical something. And when that bee come close to you, the first thing you're going to do is swat it, right? So they're coming at you like a bee. They buzzing and buzzing and buzzing all around you here. And then when you realize, you're like, they want me to follow what they're doing. And they want me to get upset. They want me to swat at them. You know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly. They know exactly what they're doing, man. Intuitive. So your intuition had no choice but to get smarter and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. It had to happen in this way. And the reason why it had to happen in this way here is because it helped you to identify what was truly going on with them here. Some things that made them very mentally unwell. I'm going to keep saying it. A person that is mentally well, mentally healthy, is not going to do any of these things. You're not. Your mind is not crisscrossed. It's not haywired. It's healthy. Mind, body, and soul. You're minding your business. You're doing what you need to do for yourself. You know what I mean? You're tending to yourself. You're in your own lane. But a person with a mental instability is showing you that they have a mental instability based on the things that they're doing. Everything, literally, figuratively, spiritually speaking, everything they're doing or attempting to do towards you is mental. Literally, there is a disconnect, or they may disassociate themselves from the illness of their mental state. Does that make sense? They don't know how to sit still with their mind. The mind is mental. They don't know how to stay still with that. The things that they say doesn't make sense. That's a mental instability. Let's break this down. They're projecting onto you to make you feel bad. That's a mental instability. Trying to make you go outside of your mind or make you crazy in your mind or trying to put you in a space where you're incapacitated in your mind. That's a mental instability. You're dealing with narcissistic individuals that don't know anything about themselves. Clearly, look at how they are acting. And the more they act or react in this way, the more my point is proven. They keep saying that they are the masters of disguise. What disguise? What are they truly disguising? What are they truly hiding? Based on the actions that they are taking towards the collective. Anybody? Can anyone tell me honestly, respectfully, genuinely asking? Can anyone answer that for me? What exactly are they truly hiding if they keep claiming that they're the master of disguise? They're not a master of anything. Disguise, child, please. Well, I'm just going to hide behind the collective. Yeah, the collective will never see me. Yeah. Man, please, the collective would never see me. And you were like, oh, okay. And you just flip the switch on because it's off. They thinking it's off. Their mental state is off. Yours is on. And you just flip it up. And you were like, what the So that's what you're doing? Oh. So wait, that's what you're doing, karmic? And then when you finally make a mouthful for the filth that they are, now everything that was playing in their head, because everything starts in the mental space, that's where the imagination starts. That's where your thoughts are combined. And then when it finally materialized, because they're trying to make it materialize in your world, they created a script in their mind that something is off with you. And they're projecting that onto you to confirm and to validate that something is off with you. Nothing is off with you. You're not doing these things towards anybody. They are. So they're proving your point and my point here that something is not right with them. Mayday, mayday, 911, huh? 411, 211, 311. But mayday, mayday, nurse, they're out again. Hello, nurse, they're out again. Okay, I'm going to use my mind. I'm going to use my brain power and I'm going to, something's not right with the collective. And I got to figure out what it is. And this is how they literally create in their mind that something is not right with you. And they have to prove it to themselves that something is not right with you. So they create a cluster of CUNTs that think just like them to come together like a school of fish and to kind of raise up themselves to make themselves more powerful than what they are not. Well, if they believe it, they got to be true. And if they believe it, it got to be true. Just because a group of individuals want something to be so true, so bad, it does not make it true. It doesn't. But what we do know what makes it true is that they have a mental instability. That's what truly makes it true. And they don't want you to see that. Because it completely clears everything that they always thought in their mind to be true. And it never was to begin with. That's why I keep saying they don't make sense. And they never will. They would never make sense. Because sensical people, like the collective, don't do foolish things like this. Sensical individuals such as yourself, divine collective, don't operate in this manner. They do. It's literally all in their head, literally and figuratively, spiritually too. It literally is all in their head. And they want to reenact that narrative or that script for you to act out how they perceive you. No, they wanted a war and ended up annihilated. They believe winning means never being understood. No one understands what the hell they got going on in their mind. Literally, figuratively, spiritually, metaphorically speaking. No one understands literally what they're going through or what they do. Literally. But like Talking Tom says, here I come. Here I come with the bazooka of truth. From their point of view, being truly understood feels more dangerous than being hated. They rather be misunderstood than being hated. They can take the hate. They can't take being understood. So if someone sees their motives clearly, the illusion collapses. An example of this would be they will rather you think they are cruel, cold, or unpredictable than accurately reading their patterns. Misunderstanding keeps them powerful. Clarity would strip them naked psychologically. It's a mind game that they're playing. And once you realize it's a mind game that they're playing, step outside of their arena of their mind game and let them suffer to their own devices surrounding their mind game. Yes, it's harsh, but that's the absolute truth. It's the absolute truth. Leave them right there. Let them figure it out. Because you can't help a person in this space. You may have tried to, but look what happened when you attempted to help someone in this space here. You can't help them. Leave them alone. They're only plotting on you to confirm their perception of you. That's it. That's the only reason, one of many reasons why that they're doing this towards you. They're trying to plot on you so that way you can confirm how they want you to be perceived by the world. No, it could be a Taurus. Shocking message. Take it how it resonates. Karma is here. And where do you think the karma is playing out? Since they were unsuccessful of trying to break you down mentally, where do you think their karma is residing? And that's just one of many spaces or places. Where do you believe their karma is playing out? Here. This is where their karma is playing out. This is where they're malfunctioning because you're not validating, you're not confirming what they perceive as you to be true because it's not true. They have to prove themselves. They're overcompensating to prove that what they said about you was true, and it's not true. It's not. This is why with narcissistic individuals, I've been reading a lot, but my whole perspective is just changing and shifting specifically through the education that I'm receiving and the experience that I've received as well, dealing with narcissistic individuals. And most people keep saying it's a behavioral thing. I don't think so. That's just me. That's my own personal point of view of things. I don't. It's a mental thing. And it goes deeper than that. Deeper than what other people have been saying. I strongly feel it's a mental thing. And people are just completely just ignoring the mental parts of this and just specifically, oh, it's a behavioral thing. Where does behavior start with? Not the mental space? Anywho. They're plotting on you because you refuse to confirm. You refuse to conform to their false ideologies surrounding you. That's why they keep blaming you for why things aren't working out. Does that make sense? This is why they keep pushing all of the blame on you as to why you won't confirm their illusions. It's the collective's fault. Oh, and it's the collective and the collective and the collective. Does that make sense? So while you're having the spiritual awakening, they're in jail mentally. And I mentioned to you guys before, being in jail in your mind is the worst place for anyone to be in. So now you're starting to get, now, not you, they're starting to conjure up all these different emotions, jealousy, envy, and this is all simmering in their mind here. Jealousy, envy, obsession, because they're stuck here. It festers because yet again you refuse to conform and confirm the false ideologies surrounding how they perceive you. So now they're encapsulated. Now they're stuck in their head. Oh, I can't take this. Oh, what's going on? Oh, I can't stand the collective. The collective think they're better than me. You don't think like that and you don't act like that. Then they try to flip it around on you and say you're jealous of them. Jealous of them? When they don't even have their mental space in a healthy space? Jealous of them? When they don't have their shit together? So now they're trying to mesh intuitiveness, intuition. Here, this is where you guys come in. Now they're saying because you're utilizing your intuition, that something must be off with you. Hear that. They want people to perceive or portray your intuition as to you being misunderstood by other people. People don't like things that make sense. Let's talk about it. Let me rephrase that. Narcissistic individuals do not like people that make sense. They don't. This is why when your intuition came on, or you realized you had an intuition and you started to utilize it for many different great areas of your life. Oh, no, you shouldn't do that. No, that's the demon. No, that's the devil. You're using your intuition. That's of Satan. Of using your freaking mind is of Satan. Let me break this down. Seeing the clarity, how you need to see it, is of the devil. Thinking for yourself is of the devil, of Satan. And these people make sense. These people make sense. You shouldn't trust yourself. Why do you want to trust yourself? You should trust me. Why would you trust another person who can't even trust themselves? They're going against their intuition because they need for you to trust them with the false ideologies that they have perceived about you. If anything, that will make you look very silly. I say that with all the love of my heart towards the collective here. That will make you look very silly if you were to confirm what they were saying about you to not be true. So sudden changes are here because you flipped the switch. Your intuition was the switch. Your clarity was the switch that was needed to be turned on. And it finally was. Yes, Lene Johnson states, you can't make a mental situation sound intelligent. Yes, it's that simple. The hardest things that we make the hardest things turn out to be the most simplistic things at the end. The hardest question or the hardest equation that you may have encountered or stumbled upon, after it's all said and done, is the most simplistic answer ever. You'd be like, what the fuck? You mean to tell me all this time this is what the answer was? They make things so complicated for other people because this is how their mind works. Their mind is not even wired to be mentally stable. Something happened along in their life, some form of trauma, unhealed trauma, some kind of something happened to where their mind just went haywire. It went crisscross. And they have to find some faults with another person whose mind is mentally sound, whose mind is mentally well. That's where you guys come in. This is why they hate you so much. Because you finally understand. You're finally understanding as to why they're doing the foolish things that they are doing towards innocent people. Could be a Gemini. However it resonates. You could be the Gemini. They could be the Gemini. However it resonates. So argue with a rock, because literally that's what they are. They're a rock. They're a wall. They're a paper in the wind. You know you can't run after no damn paper in no wind. Come on now, especially when the winds are pretty high, 10 to 15 miles or so. Come on, man. And you steady trying to pick up this paper and the wind start to pick up. Let that paper roll, boo. They're like a tumbleweed in the wind or in their mind. And they want you to chase after something that doesn't make sense. They don't make sense. They know they don't make sense. And they want you to chase after them, knowing they don't make sense. Where does that leave you? Because now you're going to be like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Man, this doesn't make sense to me. So it could be a Gemini. So you're in a space where you're resting yourself. An insane person want to fight against a person that's sane. An insane person wants to fight against or towards someone that is completely sane and healthy-minded in their mind. They want to run down your mental capacity. They want to run it down into the ground. They want you to fight to stay sane. They want you to fight to stay competent. And they think it's funny. They think it's funny for someone that is completely mentally healthy in their mind to lose their mind. Because they already lost theirs. They've been lost theirs. This is why some of these situations turn physically deadly. This is why. They don't teach psychology in schools. You only can get it in college. And they don't even see psychology as an important topic in college. It's normally like a minor, or you would have to physically go to get that degree. And when you do get that degree, sometimes it's hard to find a job surrounding that degree. They know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. The real important topics that should be discussed is buried tucked away somewhere. We have bully and secrets. This is not a secret. They're not a bully. They are not. Bully to who? To who? You? Child, please. They're not a bully to you. They're a bully to themselves. Their own mental space is a bully to themselves. They don't know what's real versus what's fake. Why you want to be around somebody like that? Somebody that's weak in the mind, because that's what they are. 100% weak in the mind. Could be a Sagittarius. You could be, or they could be, however it resonates. Or we're in Sagittarius season. Take it how it resonates. So you could be a Sagittarius dealing with someone with a mentally unwell space of things. This is happening in Sagittarius season. Or they're the Sagittarius. However it resonates. But they don't look good in these streets. They don't look good. Their reputation is breaking down. Their reputation is destroyed. Well, because of their mental instability. Again, you are well. They refuse to leave well alone. They want to push against the envelope and keep pushing and pushing and pushing until they make you unwell. Oh, goodness gracious. Ha! Baby. We got pregnancy here. Not a physical pregnancy. Creation. They want to keep impregnating you with mental instability. They want to keep you still and stagnant, but they don't realize that when you become still is when you receive your messages. They can't do that, which is why every time you try to get peace and quiet, you're trying to rest, you're trying to sleep, they come in and banging and pots and pans and talking and mumbling and gibberish and incoherence conversation. I'm sure you've all experienced that some way, somehow, at some point in time. You just want a good night's rest. You just want to rest yourself. You just want a peace, a silence. They don't want you to think for yourself, and thinking for yourself requires you to be in silence. Thinking for yourself requires you to become quiet and still. Why are you so quiet? What are you thinking about? And you this, and you that. All just to stir up chaotic energy. And over time, when chaotic energy stirs up, now you're getting a tornado. Category 1 to Category 5. A cyclone, a typhoon. All they doing is just keep pushing this energy, hot and cold energy. Isn't that how a tornado is made? Isn't that how a hurricane is made? When hot and cold water or air or whatever. I'm not a meteorologist, child. But when hot and cold energy comes together, isn't that how a cyclone or a typhoon or a tornado is made, or a hurricane is made? You cool as a cucumber, they hot as hell, and you're just cool, and all this now, if that makes sense. My God. Oh Lord, child. Just to get you in a space of not having control of self. They want you to match what they're pushing on to you. And you don't have to. That's the beauty of it. You don't have to. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. That's the beauty of your life. They see escalation as intelligence. They see escalation as intelligence. In their mind, getting louder, more dramatic, more manipulative, feels like strategy. How is that strategy? Anybody sincerely asking? How is getting louder, dramatic, and manipulative strategy? How? For who? Calm to them feels like stupidity because calm does not control outcomes. Yes, it do. Calm do control outcomes. Yes, it do. Clearly, you're here today, right? Because of the calmness that you've exhibited during all of the chaos and mayhem that they pushed on to you. Something happened in their mind where it went haywire, crisscrossed, bzzz, bzzz, like a goddamn bee. Literally, figuratively, spiritually speaking. They leak half-truths, provoke reactions, or create chaos, believing complexity equals dominance. In what freaking world? Maybe their world, but not yours, boo. It would never be in your world, ever. Complexity equals dominance? Complexity equals dominance? Let me look up the etymology real quick. Give me a second here. Quality or state of being composed of interconnected parts. That's the etymology of the word complexity. It is the quality or state of being composed of interconnected parts. What would be considered the interconnected parts of you guys? Your mind, your body, your spirit, your emotional space, your mental space, your psychological space, again, your emotional space, your financial space, your physical space are all interconnected, intertwined into what makes you uniquely you. Complexity is dominance? Oh, Lord, child. They don't realize every escalation that they make maps out their behavior easy or easier to predict. Leaking half-truths, provoking reactions, or creating chaos, believing complexity equals dominance, not realizing every escalation makes their behavior easier to map and predict. Don't argue with fools. Don't argue with fools. What is a fool? The etymology of the word fool. Hold on, let me charge this phone. Give me a second, y'all. The etymology of the word fool. Silly, stupid, or ignorant person. Thank you. Thank you. A fool is a silly, stupid, or ignorant person. Madman, insane person. You can look this up. It says fools. You can look it up for yourself. An idiot, a rogue, a jester. That is what a fool is. Mad, insane. This is what you're dealing with. A complete, utter fool. And they're trying to get you out here to be foolish or more foolish than them. No, ma'am, and no, sir. No, ma'am, and no, sir. Emotionally exhausted. is where they are. Good. They'll learn to leave well alone. And if not, they're going to figure it out. And they are figuring it out here. So this is where candles come into play. Let me talk about that a little bit more today. Candle magic from the darker parts of things. You can use your candles. Not everybody going to use candles. Just hear me out. You can use candles for positive outcomes or negative outcomes. And I'm realizing individuals that has a mental instability loves to use candles for negative intentions. A person who is not mentally sound or mentally well should not be playing with any type of candles whatsoever, because that shows and that validates that somewhere within their mind, the foundation of their mental state is already cracked. And if a person is operating from a cracked mindset, an illusion mindset here, they're putting themselves in dangerous waters. So them thinking that they can pick up a candle and do some form of incantation or pray over it or use a Bible or use whatever other spiritual or religious tool that they think that they can, they don't realize that they're only emotionally draining themselves, mentally too. They have no self-control. And then when they finally get into a space where there's no return, this is where they be at. Right here. Right here. They try to figure out, how did I get myself in here? Oh, I don't know how to get out of this. I don't know. And all they doing is just simply creating a deeper hole within their mind because they want to be throwing at people, because they want to be projecting onto others here. Leave them right there. Leave them alone. Let the fool themselves. Everything that they do is hidden. Spell work is hidden. Their intentions are hidden. Their thoughts are hidden. Shit, even their patterns are hidden. Everything that they do, or so they think, is hidden. And nothing that a negative person do is ever hidden. That's how their warped mental space sees things, operate as such. This is why they fear you. Good. Leave the collective alone. Very good. Let them fear you. Let them leave you alone. Because people are going to learn to stop fucking with you. The collective I'm speaking to. They're going to learn. Stop fucking with the collective. Leave the collective alone. Leave them alone. Go away. We don't care. Leave them alone. They fear you because you see the clarity. They fear you because they wanted to be misunderstood. You understand them. That's what they fear. Oh, well, they should have left you alone. They ain't hiding nothing. Nothing at all. Not even the shit running down their legs. They can't even hide that. That's how scared shitless they are of you. Clearly, why they keep coming for you like that? Why? Why would another person attack another person when that person they're attacking is not bothering the person that they're trying to attack? Why? Something in you triggers them so profoundly that the only way they can see fit to shut you up, to make you quiet, to make you stay still is causing some form of an adverse reaction towards you. No. N-O. Nope. Nine. Get the fuck out of here. Nah, little dog, that ain't it. Nope, little chief. Nah, heifer. That ain't it. That ain't it. We got justice here. Yeah. We got justice here. The real true justice that you truly deserve. Quietness, peacefulness, rest, happiness, thriving. That's what you deserve. And that's what you're going to have. To hell with them. A broken mind now wants to use alcohol, and they're depressed because their mind is broken and they can't beat you. So now they're trying to figure out how to escape while trying to hurt you. And the more they keep trying to escape, the more they keep hurting themselves. Let the fool be a fool. Let the fools be a fool. Let them be a fool by themselves in their own space, in their own corner, in their own illusion of things. Let them be a fool by themselves. And that foolish ways that they keep trying to push onto you here is going to eat away at them in a toxic manner. Good. Very good. Who cares? You don't care about me? No, we don't care, heifer. No, karmic narcissist. We don't care, heifer. We don't. Unable to express emotions. Could be a Leo. Take it how it resonates. We got toxic family here. Stressed out. They need you to care to validate themselves. No. They need you to care so they can continue this foolishness. No. Absolutely not. You deserve better. No. No. Huh? No. Hell nah. Guilt tripping ain't working. Manipulation ain't working. What other foolish things they do? Whatever BS they do. I can't think of it right now. It ain't working anymore. No. Frenemies involved. The message is coming, or frenemy did this to you. However it resonates. When you get into a disagreement with a so-called friend, and they know it could be salvageable, but they don't want it to be salvageable, so they just kind of run and just kind of leave you with everything. Okay, when you leave my space, when you leave my energetic space, make sure you take everything with you, because I promise you on this good green earth, you ain't coming back. So make sure when you leave the first time, that is the last time. I mean that. Don't come back. I don't care if they go into hiding. I don't care if they try to hide it. Don't come back. You're not a revolving door for anybody or to anybody. Absolutely not. Let me drink some tea. Give me a sec. Yeah, nobody's revolving door. Take that goddamn revolving door, break it down, take it down, and put up a steel door. No more revolving doors moving forward into 2026. Oh, you left? Okay, let me break down this door real quick. Let me put up a bolted door now, so that way when you try to come back, you can't even get in. Now they confused. Oh, well, and you mean that? I can't come back? You can't come back. You can't come back. Once it's done, it's done. I don't care what you say, how you got to say it. I would not play into the illusions of other people's falsehoods. I just won't. waiter, and they're expecting just that. They're expecting you to wait on them hand and foot. Child, please. Child, please. They want you to wait on them. No, that'd be a big negative, little dog. Little dog. Hell nah. You're not, well, your child is in reverse. You're still dealing with an adult, but they're very childish in nature. And they feel like because, you know, their growth has been stunted some way along the lines in their lifetime here, they expect for you to still play around with their childish antics. No. Who cares how they feel? Who cares? All right, let me, where's that other deck? That's it. I'm going to end it here with this. You are the star. You could be in Aquarius or you're just operating in Aquarius energy, however it resonates. But collective, divine collective, who I'm speaking to, the beautiful and handsome divine collective is who I'm speaking to. You are the star, the King of Pentacles. This is you. This is you. Successful, happy, healthy, invigorating, wealthy, healthy, rejuvenated, evolving, enhancements, happiness. This is you. This is you. Divine collective. This is you. Stay in this space. Stay in this space. Don't come down. You the hottest star right now in your own right. Don't you come out from that sky to address a fool. You bet not. Don't you come off your throne to address a fool. You bet not. Stay here. Stay shining. Stay thriving. Stay succeeding. Because yet again, you came here to earth to do just so. This is what you came to earth to do. Nothing else. This. And don't let nobody tell you differently. At all. Look and save the world. Yes, we are the world. We are the children. Y'all take that how that resonates. There's a choice we making that's saving our whole life. It's true to make the better place for you and me. Listen, that's you making a better place. That's you. You. Me? Yeah, you. Why not you? Why not? Why not you, collective? I don't want to hear, oh, me you're talking to? Yeah, lady or sir, I'm talking to you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Why not? You. And you better start acting like it. Yes. Period. Sagittarius. Leo. Capricorn. Leo. Scorpio. Cancer. Taurus. Aries. All right, so if that resonates, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Don't forget to grab this copy of this book here. Okay. Grab this book here, y'all. Stop playing. Yeah, I said it. Stop playing. But I thank you guys for your immense support. You're truly appreciated. You can get this book on Amazon. You sure can. Just type in Wisdom Beyond Wounds. Absolutely. Yes, it's going to help you see things in a different way that you never thought. And it's 309 goodness of information. There's also mental exercises in here as well, too. I'll give an example here. Hold on, let me find something real quick. So look, you got self-compassion. Oops. This is just parts of the book, self-compassion. And then you have weekly mini challenges that helps to challenge your mind in a very positive way. That's a couple pages. This one here, it gives you the definition of the narcissistic term. Then it gives you an example of it and then a reflection question surrounding it. Okay, self-esteem. We got a lot of goodies in here. Make sure you grab this book, 309 pages of goodness. Ooey gooey goodness. And also, if you want to join us in the group, Wisdom Beyond Wounds, that's on Facebook. All right. Thank you so much for being here. You are truly appreciated. Love, love, love to you guys. Go out there and be freaking great because you owe that to yourself. All right. Take care. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you, TikTok. Mwah. Love you guys. All right, Instagram and Facebook, thank you so much for being here. You're truly appreciated. Love, love, love to you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. All right, let me just go through these comments real quick. I think somebody, hold on one second. Let me make sure everything is good. Okay, I thought so. All right, let's get you out of here. All right. Love to you guys. Enjoy your day. I hope you guys have a phenomenal day. I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.